The rain had just started falling when Nathan Carter noticed the three little girls standing outside the grocery store, their identical faces pressed against the glass as they watched people hurry past with umbrellas. At first, he barely paid attention. Life had taught Nathan to keep his head down and keep moving. But just as he walked by them, one of the girls suddenly grabbed his sleeve and said something that made the world stop. She told him their mother had the exact same tattoo as the one on his arm. Nathan froze. For a moment, the sound of rain hitting the pavement seemed to disappear. His heart pounded loudly in his chest as he slowly looked down at the three girls. They couldn't have been older than 7. Their brown hair was tied in matching ponytails, their rain-soaked shoes squeaking on the tile floor. But what stunned him wasn't their appearance. It was the strange certainty in their eyes, and the way they were staring directly at the small compass tattoo on his forearm. Before we continue this unbelievable and emotional story, take a moment to like the video, share it with someone who believes in kindness and second chances, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel. Stories like this remind us that life can change in ways we never expect. Nathan tried to shake off the feeling creeping up his spine. That tattoo wasn't just any symbol. It was something deeply personal, something he had shared with only one person in his entire life, someone he had lost 7 years ago. Her name was Rebecca Hayes. Back then, Nathan had been a completely different man. He was young, reckless, and chasing dreams that rarely paid the bills. Rebecca was the calm to his storm. She believed in him even when he barely believed in himself. They met in a small coastal town in Oregon, fell in love faster than either of them expected, and one summer afternoon they walked into a tiny tattoo shop and got matching compass tattoos. The compass meant something simple to them. No matter where life took them, they would always find their way back to each other. But life had other plans. Rebecca vanished from Nathan's life almost overnight. One day she was there, laughing on the beach beside him, and the next day she was gone. Her phone was disconnected, her apartment empty, no note, no explanation. Nathan searched for months, but eventually life forced him to move on, or at least pretend to. Now, 7 years later, 3 little girls were telling him their mother had the same tattoo. Nathan knelt down slowly so he was eye level with them. The grocery store lights flickered slightly above them as customers passed by, completely unaware of the moment unfolding. The girls introduced themselves as Ava Harper and Zoe Bennett, triplets. Their small voices were soft but confident, the way children speak when they know they're telling the truth. They explained that their mother had a compass tattoo just like his, right on her shoulder. They had seen it many times. Nathan's throat went dry. Because there was only one person he knew with that tattoo. Rebecca. He tried to convince himself it had to be a coincidence. Tattoos weren't unique anymore. Anyone could have a compass design. But something deep in his gut refused to accept that explanation. The girls mentioned their mother was waiting in the car outside. And suddenly Nathan felt a wave of emotions crash into him. Hope, fear, confusion, and something he had buried long ago. He followed them outside into the rain. A worn blue sedan was parked under a flickering streetlight. The windshield wipers moved slowly back and forth, clearing sheets of rain. Nathan's heart pounded harder with every step he took toward the car. The driver's door opened. A woman stepped out. For a few seconds, Nathan couldn't breathe. It was Rebecca. But she looked different than the woman he remembered. Life had clearly tested her. There were faint lines around her eyes, and her posture carried the quiet exhaustion of someone who had been fighting battles for years. Yet there was no doubt, it was her. The same eyes, the same gentle presence. Rebecca froze when she saw him standing there beside her daughters. The silence between them was heavy with years of unanswered questions. Nathan felt anger rise in his chest, mixed with heartbreak and disbelief. 7 years of wondering, searching, and trying to forget suddenly flooded back all at once. But before he could say anything, Rebecca pulled her jacket slightly aside. On her shoulder was the compass tattoo, the same one. The truth slowly began to unfold in the rain-soaked parking lot. Rebecca explained that shortly after they got the tattoos, she discovered something terrifying. She was pregnant. But before she could tell Nathan, her life spiraled into chaos. Her father had fallen seriously ill, and her family forced her to move back across the country to Ohio to help care for him. Then the complications started. Doctors told her she wasn't carrying one child, she was carrying 3, triplets. Rebecca had tried to contact Nathan many times, but the number she had for him was no longer active. His apartment had been vacated months later. Every lead she followed seemed to disappear. Eventually, she had no choice but to focus on raising the girls alone. Years passed. She worked 2 jobs, struggled through sleepless nights, and fought through moments when the weight of responsibility felt unbearable. But she never removed the tattoo. It reminded her of the man she once believed she would build a life with. Nathan listened in stunned silence as the rain continued falling around them. He realized something painful. Both of them had been searching for each other in different ways, and missing each other by inches. The triplets looked between them, confused by the heavy emotions swirling in the air. They didn't fully understand the history between these 2 adults, but they could feel something important was happening. Nathan looked at the 3 girls again. Their eyes, their smiles, suddenly pieces of the puzzle began falling into place. Rebecca hesitated before finally admitting the truth she had been carrying for years. Nathan wasn't just looking at 3 strangers, he was looking at his daughters. The realization hit him like a tidal wave. 7 years of lost birthdays, 7 years of bedtime stories he never read, 7 years of tiny milestones he never witnessed. And yet somehow, fate had brought them together again in a grocery store parking lot. Nathan's life had been lonely for years. He worked construction jobs across several states, never settling down, never building the family he once dreamed of. Deep down, a part of him had always felt unfinished. Now he understood why. The triplets slowly stepped closer to him, studying his face with curiosity and warmth. Children have a remarkable ability to sense truth, even when adults struggle with it. Nathan felt tears sting his eyes as he realized he wasn't alone anymore. Not anymore. The weeks that followed were not easy. Rebuilding trust after so many years required patience, honesty, and courage from both Nathan and Rebecca. There were awkward conversations, emotional nights, and countless moments of uncertainty. But there were also small miracles, Nathan helping Ava with her homework, Harper insisting he attend her school play, Zoe falling asleep on his shoulder during movie night. Slowly, carefully, a broken story began stitching itself back together. Rebecca and Nathan didn't rush into anything. Life had taught them both that healing takes time, but every day they chose to keep showing up, for each other, and for the girls. Sometimes second chances arrive quietly, not with fireworks or grand announcements. Just 3 small voices in a grocery store saying something that changes everything. Before we reach the end of this incredible journey, tell us in the comments, do you believe fate can bring people back together after years apart? Nathan often looked at the compass tattoo on his arm now with a completely different feeling than before. For years it had been a reminder of loss. Now it was something else. Proof that sometimes the path back to the people we love is longer than we expect. But the destination is still waiting. If this story touched your heart, please like the video, share it with someone who believes in second chances, and subscribe to the channel for more emotional stories like this. Because sometimes, the smallest moment, 3 little girls noticing a tattoo, can change the direction of an entire life.